Hey, good morning, guys. I just want to, this is going to be a pretty quick video, but I came across something that happens every once in a while, and I wanted to give you guys a heads up. I actually shared this a week or so ago with our Zoom group coaching class workshop thing. But this happens every once in a while. It doesn't happen a lot. But you guys know I want to go over a new material that I found. So you guys know that several years ago, probably 5 years ago or more, I just started experimenting with this cedar fencing. This is just a piece of scrap that I've done a bunch of carving on. Just happened to be one I grabbed. But this is the cedar fencing that I started playing around with. And this replaced the clear redwood that I was using when I was making signs up in Oatman for everybody. Anyway, so I found that this stuff carved really well. There was a few issues with it, as you guys know if you've been watching for a while. There was a few issues with it, but I felt like the issues were definitely worth the benefits outweighed the cost and the issues that I had with it, and I found ways around it, as I've shared many times. So then probably about, I guess it must have been about 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, I was in Lowe's and I found something that they never had before, and that is redwood fencing. The redwood fencing they had before this was basically, it was redwood stain on junk Douglas fir or something. It was just that ugly brown stain, and it was just nasty. It's just really bad. So I tried that one time, and that was it. But then they got this redwood fencing in, and that you can see the difference in thickness between these two is huge. So
you can't see.
Yeah, it's much thicker, and it's nice and dry. Most of it's nice and dry, and it carves really well. So it's rough on both sides, but when the other side is plain, I've got some carving on this side. That's why I didn't turn it over. But so it's rough on both sides, but once it's sanded down, I didn't run this through the planer. I think I just sanded it, lightly sanded it with my disc sander, and it works great. So this is kind of my new replacement for the cedar fencing, and I love it because it's much thicker, much heavier than the cedar fencing is. However, so this is what I use now as a replacement for my cedar fencing. Vicki and I were we were in was it Lowe's? Mm-hmm. We were in Lowe's the other day, a couple weeks ago, and I've said this many times on video that look around. You know, chances are you guys aren't going to get redwood fencing. It's probably not going to happen unless you're in the West. But you might have something available that I don't have available to me. But you just have to keep your eyes open and look around. Make sure that if you're used to buying one certain thing, and I buy Select Pine. I still buy my Select Pine from Lowe's and Home Depot. But we were in there the other day, and all of a sudden I ran across something that I hadn't seen before. And I don't get there a lot, but I ran across a couple different things that I hadn't seen before. So let me show you what I found. I found some
yeah, that's better.
Some material that is a shiplap. And if you guys don't know what shiplap is, it's got like an extra lap here. It's made for siding, so it has like a little ledge. Yeah, it's got a ledge here and a ledge here, and it's made for siding. But this stuff looks like it's beetle kill pine, I would assume, a blue pine. I think that's what they called it, is blue pine. And I think it was a 6 foot. I think a 6 foot board cost $15.20. And it felt flat. It's thick. It's got really a nice feel to it. It's not wet. And all the pieces that I saw there, it's got knots in it, but the knots generally are pretty tight. They don't seem real loose. So I thought, man, that might make some pretty decent signs. So especially if you stain
down.
If you stain your signs, then even more so. But I think it's like a blue pine. So anyway, that is one that I saw, and then Vicki and I were still looking, and we saw a different one that is the same kind of thing, but this is a tongue and groove. So this has got a groove on one side, or a tongue on one side, and then a groove, again it's a siding kind of thing, on the other side. Again, it's nice and light, it's dry, it's fairly thick. It's about the same thickness as this. It's a little less than 3/4, but not much. And I thought, man, I'm going to grab a piece of that too. So this was $11.34, and it was a 6-foot piece as well. And the blue pine was $15.20. So either one of these, I thought, man, that is a nice alternative to have to make signs, especially if you like pine. And I went ahead and played around. This is the tongue and groove, so that is this one here. And it carved super nice. I mean, like butter. It carved really, really nice. So I just sanded off one side. The other side's flat. And now what I did do is I ran it through the table saw and just took the tongue and groove off. Just ran it through the table saw, so I got a nice edge. And I think it's like almost a full 6 inches wide, which is really cool. Because the redwood, well, the redwood is close, that's 5.5, but that cedar fencing is basically down to like 5 inches now. It just keeps shrinking more and more as the years go. But this is almost, you can see, almost a full 6 inches wide. This is the tongue and groove, and then I carved a piece of the shiplap, and again, I ran it through the table saw, took the shiplap off of there, and it carved really. I don't think this carved as good as this, but it still carved really, really nice. Carved really good. So, and it's got a really cool look. That blue pine, it's got a really cool look to it. So, this is just another example, guys. Keep your eyes open. Again, you guys might have stuff that I don't have. I'm sure you do have stuff that I don't have. I've got redwood decking out here. Again, we're in the West. We've got redwood 2-inch decking, and I buy 2x4s, 2x6s to make my big boards, but you guys might have cedar decking. You might have something completely different that I don't have. But keep your eyes open, because you never know when you're going to run across a new source for making some great looking signs. But I would highly recommend this stuff. It cuts great. It feels like it's super dry. I haven't measured it, but I can tell just by lifting it and feeling it, it's super dry. And again, they had tons of it when I was down there.
They had maple.
They also had some maple. Yeah, they had some ambrosia maple and other stuff. But I didn't get that simply because I wanted something that was more of a kind of a replacement for the cedar fencing that was fairly cheap. So even at $16 a board, you've got a 6-foot board. If you get, for a 2-foot sign, if you get 30 or 40 bucks, you're still making some pretty good money based on the money that you're putting out as far as for the material, and it carves really good. Anyway, guys, that's really all I wanted to share today. I just wanted give you guys a heads up and have you be sure and check your local sources. Maybe you guys have this stuff and you've overlooked it. And boy, keep your eyes open, because I think this stuff will work really good for a lot of you. So that is it, guys. If you have any questions, please email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and share it and comment. And that is it. We will see you on the next one, guys. We love you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.